Good day, dear students. I am Angel C. De Luna, and I will be your science teacher for this quarter, Living Things and Their Environment. Our module has a code of Pasay S7 LT-Q2-W2-03. Our main goal for this lesson is to demonstrate understanding in focusing specimens using the compound microscope. I hope that this would be an interesting discussion for you. Are you ready to learn? Let's start! At the end of our discussion, you are expected to demonstrate how to focus a specimen using the microscope, using different specimens. We all know that microscope is very important in studying and examining organisms in science subject. Before we proceed, you need to prepare your pen and paper as well as the learning modules for today's lesson. Are you familiar with this laboratory equipment? Do you know what is this? You are right. This is a compound microscope. Do you know the function of a compound microscope? A microscope is a laboratory equipment that is used to magnify small things that are too small to be seen by the naked eye. It is useful to observe detailed parts of the microorganisms which cannot be seen by the naked eye. Before we study focusing specimens using a compound microscope, let us try to recall the different parts of it while looking at this diagram. Can you still remember the parts of the microscope? Yes, you are correct. A microscope has an eyepiece, draw tube, body tube, revolving nosepiece, objective lens, stage, condenser and diaphragm, mirror, coarse adjustment knob, fine adjustment knob, arm, stage clips, and the base. These parts are very important in focusing specimen under the compound microscope. Microscope is very important in studying minute organisms or specimens. But how do we focus specimens using a compound microscope? You can see here in our examples of focus specimens like the onion skin cell and the cheek cells. To view a specimen clearly, you must learn how to properly operate a microscope. There are some steps on how to use the microscope as well as how to focus the specimen using it. Let us define first the word specimen. Specimen is a part or sample of any material like plant, animal, paper, or mineral for study or examination under the microscope. Before we focus our specimen under the microscope, we need to prepare our slides. For this, we need to prepare these materials: onion, glass slide or microscopic slide, cover slip, tweezer, and we also have water for our mounting medium. Always prepare with a cover slip or cover glass to protect the specimen you're viewing with the microscope. Take note also that our specimen must be thin and small so that light could pass through them. For the first step, we need to put our sample at the center of our slide using the tweezers. So carefully do it so that our specimen will not be damaged or broken. After that, we need to add a drop of tap water over it. Make sure that the amount of water is not too much. Okay. Now, get your cover slip and position it at 45 degrees angle with one side touching the edge of the water on the side. Slowly lower the edge of the cover slip until it rests on the top of your specimen. Now, we are ready to use our slide for our focusing. After we prepare the slides for our observation, we need to obtain proper lighting. First, using the revolving nosepiece, we need to set the low power objective or the LPO in line with the eyepiece or ocular. That's it. Next, we need to open the iris diaphragm under the stage. And then, we need to adjust the mirror so that it faces the light source or turn on the switch if your microscope is an electron microscope. So take note that we can bend the microscope because it has an inclination joint. Even though we are sitting, we can still view our specimen. Okay, you need to adjust the mirror to get enough light. Okay, that's it. We are now ready to focus our specimen using the low power objective and the high power objective. After we obtain the proper lighting, we are now ready to focus our specimen under the LPO or the low power objective. Make sure that your objective is set already at the low power using the revolving nosepiece. And then place the mounted specimen on the stage. Hold it in place using the stage clip. While looking at the slide, carefully turn clockwise the course adjustment knob to lower the body tube. So carefully turn it counterclockwise to lower the body tube until the LPO is about 1 millimeter from the specimen. With both eyes open, look with one eye through the ocular and observe the specimen now. You can adjust the course adjustment screw so that you can get a very good image of your specimen. Okay, so that's it. Now, we are now ready to focus our specimen under the HPO or high power objective. Move the slide so that the specimen occupies the very center of the microscope. Hold it in place using the stage clips. Before you ship the objectives, make sure that raise the body tube first using the coarse adjustment knob. Using the revolving nose piece, turn it and slowly ship from LPO to HPO or high power objective. So this is our high power objective. That's it. Look through the microscope if the specimen is already clear. We need to adjust the mirror again if you want to have enough light. If the specimen is already in clear focus with no need further adjustment, the microscope is described as parfocal. If the specimen is not in clear focus, lower the HPO slowly and carefully until it almost touches the slide. Carefully lower the body tube. Okay, that's it. With your eye on the eyepiece, move the fine adjustment knob on a clockwise direction until the specimen comes into focus. Okay. And then, if the specimen is not in clear focus, lower the HPO slowly and carefully until it almost touches the slide. So you need to adjust the fine adjustment knob if you are focusing the high power objective. After learning how to focus a specimen under the microscope, it is very important to take care of it. There are different ways how to take care of a microscope. If you're carrying the microscope, carry it using your one hand under the base and the other one is on the arm, like this. After using the microscope, remove the slide on the stage carefully and using your lens paper, you can wipe the objectives, the lens of the objectives as well as the eyepiece. Return the microscope properly on a dry clean cabinet. Did you enjoy our lesson for today? There are several things that you must remember in focusing specimen using the microscope. Number 1. Preparation of the slide with a cover slip. Number 2. Obtaining the proper lighting. Number 3. Focusing the specimen under the low power objective or LPO and high power objective or HPO, and the taking care of the microscope. Thank you for your listening, students. I hope that you learned a lot from our discussion today. You are now ready to answer the different exercises on our modules. Have a nice day, students. You can do it.